This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by GoDaddy. Coming up, slay a dragon and then snuggle up to the bonfire for our review of Dark Souls.
Today we're talking about Dark Souls, the spiritual successor of Demon Souls.
See what I did there?
A game that has sparked, or both games have sparked a ton of discussion on the internet. They're renowned for being difficult, but I don't think that really says it. These are games that are basically role-playing games, where you're action role-playing games, where you're selecting from a number of different classes, you're leveling up your character. Your character starts the game by dying, so you're undead when you start, and your quest is to regain your humanity by going through these castles and dungeons and such. But where the game really is different is how it treats the player and what it expects from you. In a lot of ways, it's a lot like an MMO in that you are always connected to everybody else that plays the game, but not in a traditional sense. You see blood stains on the ground, and you can activate them, and you'll see a ghost of another player's last death in that area. So you can sort of gain hints on how other people have approached things. Players can leave messages in blood around the environment, so you can see what another person has experienced. Sometimes they're leading you down the wrong path. And you can call people into your game to help you with certain things. But it's also like an MMO in the sense that not a lot is spelled out for you right at the beginning. You sort of have to figure out the right way to go. You can walk down a path and you can be encountering creatures that are way outside your level and will kill you instantly. And there isn't really a lot of hand-holding. This is a game that treats the player with, I would say, a level of respect in that you have to learn by doing, you have to learn by experimentation, and you have to learn by dying. It's a game where you die quite a lot, and if you don't get back to your soul where you had died, you will lose your progress. Dan, I know you were a big fan of Demon Souls, and we're very excited about Dark Souls hitting the scene, as a lot of people are. Can you speak to why you like these kinds of games and how different Dark Souls is from Demon Souls?
Dark Souls is very similar, first of all, it's the easier question to answer, to Demon Souls. What's great is that the graphics are better and the milieus change. So you're not all down inside a dungeon, you're outside, and it's quite beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
they've added campfires and stuff.
And the campfires, so instead, now the interesting thing is in Demon Souls you would always return to a hub world and you could like choose to which world you want to go into, and you could farm. You could grind, you could get souls and level up your guy, then go to harder places. You can't really do that as much in Dark Souls.
You can sort of do it around your campfire.
You can do it a little bit, but you could really farm,
yeah.
And I found it to be fun in Demon Souls. The ability to do that's why I could just take my time, level up my guy first, and then worry about, But the campfire stuff is great because you could never you can't save your progress in these games.
Yeah.
The campfires works as a checkpoint system.
Right.
They're very few and far between, but it's better than Demon Souls, in that respect. I love these games because it is a very unique gameplay experience, and I always enjoy that. And it comes to close to as a simulation as possible. Obviously, there could be a game, but I don't think anyone would enjoy a game where if you died in the game, that's it for you, But because the punishment is so severe, it gets you to that place of I can't just rely on button mashing to play. I have to have skill in every fight. I have to be skillful. When I get into a sword fight with a lowly skeleton, I feel like I am a swashbuckling sword fighter because I have to really strategize, I have to really block, and it's very precise controls, and I really have to engage in that fight. And the joy that you have in an MMO where it takes you forever to traverse the level and you finally get to where you need to be, or how difficult the instance is, or how difficult it was for me to get a beast when I'm the hunter, and we go to this break the game to go to this special place, and if I die, that's it. But like the suspense of that moment, this game, every moment of this game, and especially the big boss battles, is the most suspenseful sequence because you don't want to die. You don't want to, you can't just race through it. And so those blood stains, when you see how someone like you're every step is a careful step. You see how other people did it. You engage in every. I love that. Now I am also extremely frustrated by it, and there are moments when, but there would be. It's the good suck. There would not be the joy. It's like there's an old Chinese proverb about guy climbing a tree. Tigers are chasing him up a tree, and he grabs a fruit, and there's fruit on the tree, and the tigers are gonna get him, and his branch is falling off, and as he falls off, he grabs the fruit. How sweet it tastes. You know, and like that's the thing. It's like it wouldn't taste as good if it weren't for how perilous.
The tigers.
Yeah.
You were going to be eaten by a tiger.
So I absolutely love it. Yes, but I know it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
You're a big MMO guy.
Sure.
Did you feel that there were similarities here?
Nah, not really.
No?
No. I mean, I never thought of it in the concept of, or the context of an MMO. However, the uniqueness of being able to sort of have like little notes on the ground, but from other people was amazing, and I love that. It's an interesting game. It's a very interesting game. You know, I'm going to disagree with Dan a little bit on the fact that it couldn't have been, it wouldn't have been as enjoyable. The moments that I had, I didn't enjoy playing this game overall, but I enjoyed a lot of moments of playing this game, right? And I think that that's what Dan has tapped into, which is because it's so severe and because it's so difficult. Really, it's the difficultness that is.
I don't think that. I mean, go ahead.
Okay, good. So it's the difficultness, the ability to communicate. That's what makes this game fun, which is it's slow, it's methodic, it's not run through, and that's where I had fun. What is not fun is the death penalty. That is not fun. That takes all of that out of it. I don't think that the death penalty is the reason why I move so slowly and I read all the things. I do that because the game is very hard. And so what I would suggest, this is my thing of suggesting, which would be a couple more campfires. Not thousands more campfires, but one halfway to the main boss guy. So that you can take that time, that stress, that, oh my God, I'm doing it. Maybe you die, you go back, that sucks, but I have my path. But then when you get to a milestone, you can go, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do that all over again. That's fine. Now push forward to get to the boss thing. And that's really I think it is just about to a point where I could actually sit down, play it, and go, this is an amazing gaming experience. Because moment to moment, in that tension, I was having an amazing gaming experience, but it wasn't just because I know I would go all the way back to the end. It was because it's a hard game and I don't want to die.
See, the only thing I knew about this franchise, I didn't play Demon's Souls. The only thing I knew about this franchise going in was what you said. It's hard. And I really think that did me a disservice.
Yeah.
Thinking that going in. And I feel like that's a bad thing to put out there because it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's like what you always it's what you always talk about clicking into when you play Modern Warfare Online, where you have to sort of get out of the I shouldn't have died mentality. That dying is just a part of it. It's just a part of it. And this game really asks you to approach it on its own terms. And I respect the hell out of this game. I think the fact that it deals with very common gaming conventions in a completely unconventional way. And it's not just dying in the death penalty, it's everything. It's how the combat system works. The fact that they map everything to the two, your left hand is mapped to the two triggers on your left of the controller, and your right hand is mapped to the two triggers on the right of your controller. And how the leveling progression system works, where you accrue souls and those pay for everything. They pay for items, they pay for leveling up.
So you're choosing.
And how you're meant to replay things over and over, and you're meant to grind a little bit, and you're meant to there's sections where you're supposed to just kind of get souls and then spend them and then attack the boss. How items work, how everything in this game, the openness of the world, and the fact that you can walk down the wrong way
and get hit by a dragon.
Be hit by a dragon.
Yep.
Be hit by even skeletons that will rip your face off.
The one thing I will say is a lootable body that you did not kill. It's usually a trap.
It's a trap. Usually
it's a trap.
But if you figure out how to get to that lootable body, you go, oh, and if you use that dragon to your advantage to kill all the guys on the bridge, it's a wonderful moment that you figured out, and you're like, oh my god, that's what and you get a poop ton of soul,
This game really asks the player to play at a different pace and a different level and it asks for a different level of commitment than almost any video game does, and that's why people fall in love with this franchise. And I find myself really torn because I totally respect it and I love elements of it. And like you say, when I walk around a corner and it's dark and I can't see in front of me,
and there's a note that says,
I've never felt
right there,
it's good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
I've never felt that level of being in it, of immersion, of really feeling worry and stakes. But I have to say that the sort of slow, methodical picking away at an area, when it comes time for me to have my game time and sit down in front of the television to play for enjoyment, it feels like a level of commitment that I don't necessarily want to do every night.
When you're doing that in an MMO, you're doing that stuff when you really don't have anything going on. You're not trying to get into the game, the enjoyment of the game. You're trying to blow an hour before you have to go to a meeting. When you're grinding in an MMO. Nobody grinds in an MMO for enjoyment. You just do it when you have a couple of minutes, but you don't have time to do anything else.
A lot of people do it just to level up.
But that's all. But those people probably love this game. You know what I mean?
I've never felt more satisfaction from downing a boss. I've never felt more satisfaction from getting a new weapon and like, oh my god, that weapon is tangibly better. I've never felt more true difference class to class and stat to stat in a game. You just really wildly different play styles.
It's like, often games have big slow weapon and short quick guy, or big slow guy, short quick guy. But
it all comes down the wash.
It all comes down the wash. This game, no. You feel it. It affects things. It affects you. You may be a different guy with this. I mean, like, it is everything. And Connect. I mean, you want immersion. You want to feel like I'm a sword fighter. It's not this. It's this game. This game, you feel like you are in it. Just like you said, like you really feel you're in. You're so present.
The Wii, because that's more the
You're
Wii
so
than the
present in the moment because of. And I really think it is like that experience that we had when I had to get that beast, the core hound. And it's like I'm like doing the side thing, and if I die, we have to go all the way back here, and it sucks. But like that's how amazing that moment is.
And the interconnectedness of you with other gamers is truly revolutionary. It
you
really
can play cooperatively too, which we didn't.
You invite people into your game. But I mean, it's like that autolog feature that Criterion's been doing in Need for Speed and Burnout, but done as a role-playing experience, and it's really cool. These games are very different and really cool, and I respect the hell out of them.
They're worth checking out, but it's really not for everybody, in my opinion.
No, for no way. No way it's not.
No way. Dan said it.
But still.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this, but first we want to thank our sponsors, GoDaddy.com. Get reliable, secure web hosting without a long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting are bigger and better than ever with 99.99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. And remember, people, you can download GoDaddy's Android or BlackBerry app and order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and much, much more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy. All of the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3. Now we stop by. I'm
still leaning.
You guys owe me a Coke. Dang it. Try TRS-8. Check out. That'll give you 10% off.
Hey, send your backgrounds in. We love seeing those. We'll display them prominently on the back of our bodies. Fans at TotallyRadShow.com is where you send that, and we love getting them. And you can get our logo for inclusion into
All
said
sorts of
backgrounds. Mostly at flickr.com/.
See you guys tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow for the return of Secret Identity.
Today's Twitter question sent in by @thegillette5. If you were a hot dog, would you eat yourself? It's a simple question, Jeff. Well, would you?
Yes.
And I asked that.
And
you would?
Only Jeff is allowed to
Sadly, I
answer.
would eat I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to resist myself.
I know, because you're
Especially if there was
irresistible.
mustard on me. Would you guys eat?
I don't like hot dogs.
Would you guys
So
eat
I
me?
would like.
You'd be fine
Not,
just
not only
being
would
one.
I wouldn't eat myself, but I'd have a lot of self-loathing issues.
I would definitely eat myself, but I would eat myself sparingly over very many years.
It would be like,
just
for
eat
me,
like a
it would
little
be
bite
like
and
that
then
episode
wait.
of The Simpsons with Pinchy.
Yeah.
But if you're eating yourself,
He would love this. I would be me. I would be like, I love how I
Pooping yourself
taste.
out. You
yeah,
couldn't put it back
and
on.
you wouldn't be like
You couldn't
growing
put it
back,
on. Yeah.
self-regenerating.
Good question.
Oh, if only there were self-regenerating hot dogs, guys. Can we make that?
Yeah, let's do it today.
It takes some molecular gastronomy.